Hey everybody, this is Lord Magicus, and this week we're going to play more Dimir Merfolk in Modern. We're going to go back to our Drown in the Loch tech and see if this actually is good enough to get the job done. I think after last week I was impressed enough with this card I want to play with it again. So we saw that, yeah, the combination of Thought Scour and Drown in the Loch is pretty good against a lot of decks, and also Merfolk Windrobber helping to fill up the graveyard for this. And then we also have Mire Triton, which is fantastic in combat, and also helps make our Lurrus better. So yeah, I think this was a pretty good shell. I like the Creeping Tar Pits. I think this was a pretty good replacement for Mutavault in this list. The thing that I think we needed to work on a little bit though is the sideboard. So this week we're changing it up a little bit. I'm still going to keep the spell bombs because decks like Dredge and Living End are still a threat, so we need to have something against them. But instead of like Chalice of the Void, I'm going to move towards Fatal Push and Aether Gust are going to be my big cards here. So we're going to Fatal Push we can bring in against the Prowess decks and maybe stuff like Heliod Company. Yeah, so we have removal to support Drown in the Loch. We're going to keep the extra forces to support it in like the control matchups. But Aether Gust I think is going to help us. We struggled a little bit versus like Titan in the Roll Ramp deck. So I think Aether Gust might be the card that we want to use for this. And my reasoning for this, it gets around stuff like Cavern of Souls, which we saw like the Titan decks do. But also we can, yeah, when we put stuff back on top of their deck, we have Thought Scour and Merfolk Windrobber to mill them away. So this Aether Gust becomes almost like an uncounterable removal spell when we combine it with these two cards. So it'll actually make it a lot easier like to keep these cards in those matchups and make, you know, the Drowns can possibly stay in some of the time. I think maybe versus the Gruul deck we might take out Drown, but I think we'd want to keep it against the Titan deck. And then against Tron and also the Gruul deck, the Seas Claim I think is a good addition to Spreading Seas. The three main deck are fine because they're value with Lurrus, but I specifically want to bring in Seas Claim as the extra copies here because if we are on the draw versus, say, the Gruul deck, and they go, you know, like turn 1 Arbor Elf or turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, I really want to try to make... I don't want them to have they don't want to untap with a forest, basically. I want to make it an island so they can't cast a 3-drop in turn 2, ideally. So it'll be a little bit harder if they untap with the Arbor Elf, but if they go like turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, countering with Seas Claim, even, you know, when we're on the draw on turn 1 is fantastic. So being 1 mana I think is really important to that. So I'm willing to play 2 of these instead of going like a 4th Spreading Seas. Other than that, I think this addresses a little bit of the concerns we had last time, so I'm ready to go give this another try. And here we go. We are on the play. Show off Lurrus here. This hand seems fine. Alright, we'll keep it. I think... Turn 1 we want to get a basic island. Godless Shrine, ooh, I'm not really a fan of that. Alright. Inquisition, so probably take Spreading Seas is my guess. I think this card's usually the one that you take in this situation. It'll fuck up your mana and it draws me a card. And I think here we'll probably play Creeping Tar Pit. Ooh, actually, now I kind of... Can they possibly play for 1 mana that I care? Well, no, it doesn't matter because I Drown in the Loch's not online. I think we're going to play Silvergill Adept here. It's just next turn, then we might not have this online, but if we draw like a Watery Grave or something, it'll be okay. But we should play this before they like Thought Seize it too. So they already know the rest of our hand. It's a good top deck. Okay, well, that could be better. The weakness of Creeping Tar Pit is, yeah, it's, the mana's going to come into play tap, but... So Drown in the Loch is offline for a little while. Not bad. Play this. I guess I'm not going to put the Lord into play just yet. I will play the Windrobber though. I don't want them to fatal push Lord here. Flagstones, okay. Alright, we'll play Lord here. Actually, you know what? I don't... no, I think I could play around Fatal Push by holding up Drown in the Loch. This might incite them to do anything. Okay. We'll sacrifice the Windrobber. In this case, it's safe to play the Lord. Now our Drown is active on 2. So we're not going to be doing this anytime soon. Play the other Tar Pit. Attack. If they play like Stoneforge Mystic, we can just Drown in the Loch and protect it. Next turn I can also put Lurrus in my hand. Depending what they do here. Well, if they're going to Inquisition this anyway, I may as well just destroy their spirit creature. I have no better play. I'm going to take this away, but now they get to, yeah, they get to do whatever they want here. Like, Liliana could be bad. But I'm definitely ticking Vial up, because I can put Lurrus in my hand and then immediately, like, play Spreading Seas. Ooh, that's not bad at all. Well, they know I have that, so... Does it matter? What are they gonna do? Kaya's Guile me? I guess in that case, yeah, we can attack first. See how this goes. So they could, if they had like another one of these, they could exile my graveyard before I get to use Lurrus. That's kind of what I thought. And that's actually cool because now I can use the Lurrus and get this back. Or no, it'll exile it first. Okay, so we'll sack the Silvergill. You take the damage. I can just still play Mire Triton here, so. If they try to make me discard a card, I'll just put the Lurrus in play. That kind of sucked that we didn't get any value off of that, but we're very close to killing them, so. Batterskull, okay. So the question is, do I put Lurrus in play right now? They could go to 12 and block any, and like, yeah, I think it might be reasonable to do this here. No, I don't actually think I need to. I think I can just attack with like Creeping Tar Pit here. always know. Oops. Control Z. Hold on. Let's make sure we activate the right one. So I still have Triton to block this. So they have to feel like they're in trouble. That's good for us. So one more land and like the Tar Pits could actually do the job. I don't think the Cavern matters here. So what's your last card? Okay, so do I guess I want to 1, 2, 3. I guess I want to play the Mire Triton first. Now we will activate the Tar Pit. Alright, they gave up. Excellent. So this is a black-white Smallpoxy deck, huh? So yeah, there's gotta have like Stoneforge Mystic in this deck too. Well, this was pretty good. So what do we want against them? To be honest, I think our deck is already very good, so maybe Force of Negation? But if I'm honest, like most of our stuff is already pretty good. I guess our only issue is if they get like Sword of Fire and Ice. I don't really have a good answer to that if it hits play. The Fatal Pushes are fine. But we have Drown in the Lochs too. Actually, you know what? That's something that's worth checking. Hold on. Yeah. I don't know if you could see it. I'm actually I'm looking at a few different things that I might want to get. I'm a big Fifth Element fan, so I've got my vaccination record and I want to find a nice little holder for it. Kaya's Guile can exile their own graveyard. You know, exiles all cards from each opponent's graveyard. It can't exile their own, so Drown in the Loch is still strong. Okay. There we go. Which means I think we could reasonably keep this card. I think, honestly, I don't really want to make any changes. I think that this is pretty good as it is. The Mire Triton is a good blocker for basically anything, because this can also block the Sword of Fire and Ice, which is very important. Yeah, I think I could take out one Vial. I don't know, like, if that matters that much. Force of Negation. I guess we'll just run it back. I think this is pretty reasonable as is. Okay. They show us more cards and maybe we can make better informed decisions. I think that I want to keep this. I do have Force. I could pitch the Drown in the Loch to it. And then I have the option of either going Tar Pit in turn 1, or if I draw a different land, then maybe I want to go like Darkslick into Vial. Either way seems fine. I think this is okay. Okay, Flagstone's pass is usually fine for us. There we go, Darkslick. So, because Aether Vial is very good against Smallpox. I guess I can F2 here. I don't need to keep clicking. I have a habit of clicking like a lot. You're gonna Smallpox me 100%. Let's not do that, please. Because I definitely want to Spreading Seas this thing so I can screw up your mana. Yes, tick up. Good. Makes it difficult for them, oops, to get yeah, to get double black, because they need another one of these. So okay, Lingering Souls is fine. It's something to be concerned about with Thought Scour. We can get a Lord, that would be really good. That's also fine. This Thought Scour can then draw us a card. I don't intend to block either of these things. I expect them to flash this back. They're not. They're holding up like... It looks like they're holding up Kaya's Guile. Interesting. So Blood Chief's Thirst, that's a pretty good card. Alright, let's put our Mire Triton in play. They might exile our graveyard at an opportune time. I have no need to do this just yet. We got rid of another Smallpox. However, attacking probably is not very good because they can just Guile into... We only have 6 cards yet, so this Windrobber's not doing very much at the moment. They'll just Kaya's Guile make us like... They'll make a Spirit, I guess, and then make us exile our graveyard or sacrifice a creature. They can block the Windrobber. I think I'm fine not to do anything right now. I could attack with the Mire Triton, actually. If they want to trade the Spirit with this thing, that's fine. I think the Windrobbers are worth a little bit. I don't think this is... Yeah, I don't think you really want to do it. Okay. This is fine, because now they're at 7 cards in their graveyard, so if they put one more in there... Well, I guess they could go to 6 by playing the Lingering Souls, so it's a concern. But they have to be very careful, because if they like tap out and we have like a Lord, they're in a lot of trouble. Ooh, alright. So what is this? I'm just using their Flagstone's mana here. Could start sacrificing these to draw cards. Well, not now, but alright. So we need Island Walk to get through here. Okay, so this might be a turn where I want to tick Vial up. So we could have Path to Exile here. The thing is, well, I guess I don't need to tick it up just yet. I can always attack with the Tar Pit. Okay. Now next turn I can actually tick up Vial and get this online. Alright, play this, pass. Liliana of the Veil. It's not ideal. I guess I'm getting rid of Mire Triton. It really does look like they're holding up a path right now. I'm not going to block. So what if they are? I think this is fine to tick this up here. So they have path and they can trade these things. I guess it's a risk I have to take because I want to kill Liliana right now. Right, if they have a path, this doesn't matter. So oh, this is fucking awesome. They don't have it. I thought that was a gamble worth taking in that situation, just because, yeah, I don't want them to have Liliana stuck there. This also mills cards now. These things are worth cards. You have Island Walk on board. Like, Fatal Push is not going to do anything to, like, we can just replay Master. You know, we have lots of good draws. Like, this situation is actually looking pretty good. So they have to do something strong on this turn, or otherwise they could be in trouble. And I can, in emergency, sacrifice the Windrobbers for cards if I need to. I don't imagine they have nothing. They just don't have Path to Exile, so interesting. I think I just sacrificed the Master right here, right? That's the thing I want to cast with Lurrus next turn anyway. Sure. That's not going to help you. May as well attack with all 5. Well, no, you should leave the 2 back for Lurrus. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. But this is a race you're having trouble with. Good start for us to this league, I think. It looks like we've probably got this one locked up here. barring anything super devastating in like this next turn. I play the Master here, play the Delta, crack the Delta, get an island, animate the Tar Pit, get in for 7 damage. Flying and Island Walk. It is as evasive as it can possibly be at the moment. Alright. The land and Dark Confidant. Okay. Still feeling pretty good about this. Alright, they gave up. See, look at this. This was awesome. We filled up our own graveyard with Mire Triton to get some stuff for Lurrus. We filled up their graveyard with Windrobber so that we can sack them to draw cards if we needed to. But turns out, yeah, no, we just had everything we needed to here. The Tar Pit once again shining. You know, the Spreading Sea's doing its job, I think. This was a fantastic showing for us. So, oh yeah, drawing the next card, you can feel there's a little bit of salt. That's fine. 6 cards in hand, and they just gave up in this turn. That, like, their hand must have just been trash. Like, maybe they had, like, a bunch of Dark Confidants in play or in their hand or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but, like, it definitely didn't seem like it was great. Had to be, like, all clunky stuff, right? It couldn't have been, like, removal, or they would have used it on, you know, these things earlier. So, I don't know what it was, but, like, yeah, maybe a bunch of discard spells, that could be. So, yeah, everybody, please give this a thumbs up. The Dimir Merfolk needs your likes, okay? Everybody's wanted to see some blue-black Merfolk for quite a while now, so here we go. This is your second league of it in a row. So, yeah, please thumbs up and leave some nice comments, and I will see you again tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.